staying with Mr. President's pledge as well as the Senate to not allow anyone who has corruption stigma to occupy any position in government, that it became apparent for us to petition the Senate that if the Senate goes ahead to clear Rotimi Amaechi, in all fairness to him, to become minister appointed by Mr. President, that it will be a betrayal of trust by the Senate and accommodation of corruption by the Senate as well as Mr. President. As such, we felt that the Senate is said, or the legislature is the only among the other two, the direct symbol of democracy. Because in military administrations, when there is a military intervention in governance, the only body that suffers is the legislature. Mr. Chairman, I wish to say that the matter we have raised in our petition is properly before you. Has cases of such or not, and given that the document, the claims you have made are at any level, given and also believing that I will be protected, that the Senate will not let the people of Rivers State down, which has been unable.
Just hold on.
Corrupt person.
No, please. Don't I apologize. Show him what you want to show him.
Please, I want you, in as authority.
I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry.
Please, give me the Constitution. I want you to read section 36.
Of the civil rights and obligations, including any question of determination by or against any government or authority. A person shall be entitled to a fair hearing within a reasonable time by a court or other tribunal established by law and constituted in such manner as to secure its independence and impartiality.
Can you read the last paragraph again? That's one. Can you repeat it?
A person shall be entitled to a fair hearing within a reasonable time by a court or other tribunal established by law and constituted in such manner as to secure its independence and impartiality.
Thank you very much. Senate.
Yes, sir.
When we came here as senators of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, our oath of office is to uphold, protect, and defend the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the law. We never swore to uphold any morality. Yes, I want you to understand. And what you have read, I'm sure, is the provision of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Is that not what you have read? An obligation. Yes. A person shall be entitled to what? Fair hearing. Sure. Within reasonable time. Yes. Yes. By a court or tribunal. Yes. But that court or tribunal shall be constituted in such a way as to secure its independence and impartiality. Yes. Now, the records we have is that Amaechi believes, rightly or wrongly, that particular tribunal is not constituted in a way that it will secure its independence and impartiality, and therefore is not going to get fair hearing. So he rushed to the court and said, stop this tribunal from doing so. The court said, no, as far as we are concerned, that tribunal is okay. And he, dissatisfied with that decision, he now traveled to the Court of Appeal, which is recognized by the same Constitution. And the Court of Appeal has not determined that matter. And what the Senate is telling you is that in accordance with the oath of office we have taken, we must recognize three things here. One, that Amaechi is a citizen of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, that it is the same Amaechi and other citizens of this country that have been vested with that right under the Constitution, Section 36 in particular. And that this Senate cannot tell him that he cannot avail himself of the right conferred upon him by the Constitution, and no any other body can do so. And aware of the fact that we as senators have sworn to uphold, protect, and defend the same Constitution. I want you to understand. And the law creating them has given them power to investigate. So they are merely investigating. None of them has come to the conclusion that, and they are unable to do so because even after investigation they must go to court for a court of competent jurisdiction to say that he is he has committed fraud or dishonesty or whatever. You understand? And there are plethora of cases from the Supreme Court that says that you cannot, by whatever name called, take away the function of the court and come to the conclusion that somebody is guilty or not, because there are courts constituted for that purpose. So this is really where our problem is, so that you understand clearly where the Senate is coming from. So while the power to investigate is vested with ICPC and EFCC, but the right to challenge any tribunal that is constituted in a manner that has not secured its independence or impartiality based on the understanding of the person who is to appear before it cannot be taken away by anybody. So this is where the problem is. But since you say you're a lawyer, you might find some place to encourage us to navigate away from that and safely do so. Listen to this, to navigate away from that established position and safely do so. So we shall be all ears to hear from the fountain of wisdom, of legal wisdom that you have. Do you have the Constitution?
We didn't have it there. It's totally upside down. The pages are upside down.
If you listen to what the Senate said, so I don't draw conclusions, and we're able to read.
147.5.
147, subsection 5.
Appointed as a minister of the Federation unless he is qualified for election as member of the House of Representatives.
Now, can you now go further? Can you go to section 65, 65 and 66?
Let him listen. No, let him read 65 first.
Yeah, read 65 first.
Of this Constitution, person shall be qualified for election as member of A, the Senate if he is a citizen of Nigeria and has attained the age of 35 years, and B, the House of Representatives if he is a citizen of Nigeria and has attained the age of 30 years. Person shall be qualified for election under subsection 1 of this section if A, he has been educated up to at least the school certificate level or its equivalent, and B, he is a member of a political party and is sponsored by that party.
Did you read the opening statement subject to section 66? Is that?
Subject to provisions of section 66.
Can you go to
provisions of section 28 of this Constitution, he has voluntarily acquired the citizenship of a country other than Nigeria, or except in such cases as may be prescribed by the National Assembly, has made a declaration of allegiance to such country. B, under any law in force in any part of Nigeria, he is adjudged to be a lunatic or otherwise declared to be...
Can you read that again, please? Can you read that again?
Under any law.
Under any law in force in any part of Nigeria, he is adjudged to be a lunatic or otherwise declared to be of unsound mind.
Go ahead.
He is under a sentence of death imposed on him by any competent court of law or tribunal in Nigeria, or a sentence of imprisonment or fine for an offense involving dishonesty or fraud by whatever name called, or any other offense imposed on him by such a court or tribunal, or substituted by a competent authority for any other such sentence imposed on him by such a court. D, within a period of less than 10 years before the date of an election to legislative house, he has been convicted and sentenced for an offense involving dishonesty, or he has been found guilty of a contravention of the Code of Conduct. E, he is a non-discharged bankrupt having...
Sorry, please, can you read D? Read the chapter.
For election to the legislative house, he has been convicted and sentenced for an offense involving dishonesty, or he has been found guilty of a contravention of the Code of Conduct.
Interpretation of the...
No, it's not finished. No, let him continue. Let him finish. You get to the point. Go ahead. Please, go ahead.
Haven't been adjudged or otherwise declared bankrupt by any law in force in any part of Nigeria. F, he is a person employed in the public service of the Federation or of any state and has not resigned withdrawn or retired from such employment 30 days before the date of election. He is a member of any secret society. H. He has been indicted for embezzlement or fraud by a judicial commission of inquiry or an administrative panel of inquiry or a tribunal set up under the Tribunals of Inquiry Act, a Tribunal of Inquiry law, or any other law by the federal or state government, which indictment has been accepted by the federal or state government respectively, or he has presented a forged certificate to the Independent National Electoral Commission.
Now, because of the information you were given, we referred you to about 3 different chapters, these sections of the Constitution. Do you think that this panel, as a lawyer that you are you convinced that we are guided by the Constitution that we swore to?
With all due respect, sirs, the provisions I've read are very clear and it places emphasis on conviction. Which is the indictment.
Is there anything like indictment there?
I'm coming. The indictment comes up in 66H. The judicial.
Are you aware that?
I'm aware that there is a report.
Do you think what you present here will take precedence over that?
Yours truly falls under the purview of the Senate. Of course, there is no way, in all fairness to the Senate, that the Senate will take decisions outside of its standing rules. That I am very, very sure of. However, what we have done is a protestation from River State that we have it on record, given, number one, going through our petition, that Mr. President, because by the time we petitioned Mr. President, the Commission of Inquiry had not started sitting. And even at that, I'm not holding brief for the Commission, because the Commission was set up by government. This petition has come from the peoples of River State concerned about our state's assets. And on that note, having also attached and affixed relevant documents, and also given Mr. President's pledge that he will not allow or condone any person who may be found wanting or having any corruption stigma to find a place in his government. Now we felt that our former governor, having served out a public office, and we have questions that he ought to answer, that going further to appoint him when we are saying back home that no, he embezzled our money, that appointing him may amount to a breach of trust and cast doubt on Mr. President's resolve on the fight against corruption. And that being what the Senate equally stands for, that when there are allegations against a person, whether or not convicted, there are codes of conduct and ethics that guide public service as well as public servants. That on the basis of that, with all due respect to the 1999 Constitution and the standing rules of the Senate, that we felt that the...
Can you read that document there? And your name is there, and there is a court order. Read it.
Court order?
Read it.
Legal practitioner, okay. Suit between Advanced Consulting, Result Import and Export Capital Index against Livingstone, Wechie. This suit I have been served, not suit filed by Rotimi and Amaechi. And the subject matter of this suit is on defamation. Mr. Chairman, sir. Mr. Chairman, sir. This suit was not filed by Rotimi and Amaechi against Livingstone. This suit is not on the issues of the 3 points of my petition. It's rather filed by companies that were mentioned, and their claim here is on defamation, having nothing to do with the issues as to embezzlement of money against Rotimi and Amaechi. Except I'm being told now that he is the owner of these companies. With all due respect, I'm not aware if he is. Actually, companies were mentioned in the allegations leveled against him. And in our petition, and because of our findings, we mentioned the names of those companies in our petition. And we equally published them as an open letter to Mr. President after having forwarded the same petition to him. So I think I cannot marry Rotimi, Amaechi and these companies together as one.
Whatever we do here is guided by the law. Yes. You see, you are saying that the president has said he's going to fight corruption, and that you have not seen any reason as to why the president should appoint somebody who has an allegation of corruption against him. This is the ground of your case.
Yes.
Okay. The Constitution says every person charged with a criminal offense shall be presumed to be innocent until he is proved guilty. Do you agree with that provision?
I agree, sir.
Thank you. So, does it take away Amaechi's right to be presumed innocent until he is proved guilty?
Surely.
Answer. You see,
that's what I'm answering. I don't know if the answer must be yes or no.
No, yes, we want yes or no. Because it will take us to where...
No, it will not. His right has to be protected. That's why I keep saying, in all fairness to him.
Assuming office as President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria has subscribed to an oath of office.
Yes.
The content of the oath of office is that he himself said, listen, he will uphold, protect, and defend the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the law. So if the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, which he has sworn to uphold, protect, and defend, has given Amaechi's right to be presumed innocent until he is proven guilty. And as it stands today, there is no court judgment anywhere that says Amaechi is found guilty of committing those allegations. Don't you think that the president is dealing with an innocent person as far as is concerned based on the Constitution?
For now.
For now.
In recognizing as well as respecting that provision of law and the oath sworn to by Mr. President, I'm also aware that Mr. President has also said in that oath that his interest shall not override that of the public.
No, that he will not allow his
personal interest
to affect
official conduct and decision, which is in line with the interest of the public. That having been said, it is also considerable that, assuming we have to also refer to the Judicial Commission of Inquiry, which although I'm not holding brief for, part of the provisions here, 66H, also gives grounds for disqualification as indictment arising from reports.
No. I want you to understand. See, the aim of this panel is to enable you live here, satisfied with the fact that we have kept to the oath of office we are taking as Senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
I am not in doubt of your credibility.
Okay,
no,
forget about credibility. Forget about credibility now. So what we are saying is this: as far as the law is concerned here, we are tied hands, leg, and neck to intervene. Because if we proceed further from where we are now, we are indirectly going outside the provision of the Constitution and our law to say that by the mere expedience of swearing to an affidavit, we can rely upon that and come to the conclusion that you are guilty. So tomorrow in the morning, if I decide that I want to make you guilty, I will just go and swear to an affidavit and say you have done this, you have done this. Please, Senate, act on this affidavit and say that that person is guilty. Does that make sense to you?
Mr. Chairman is guilty, and I've never said so. I've only said I have reasons to believe, given the evidence available to us, that he has a case to answer.
That is
and on that note, Mr. Chairman, sir, may I reaffirm that I have no doubt in the integrity of the Senate, including this committee, and that of Mr. President. I want to repeat it, because I believe that the Senate will also appreciate efforts by citizens to raise questions on public office holders.
Which is good, which is excellent.
And I do not wish that we should in any way be either intimidated or in any way discouraged.
It's very good.
On that note, also, given that the law expressly says this, I also want to bring to the attention of the Senate that in all fairness to the Senate and the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the pulse we feel on the streets from the people at the grassroots sends a message that accept its conviction that you cannot hold a person wanting. However, what Nigerians will expect is that, given the gravity of the allegations and issues involved, that the Federal Republic of Nigeria, including the Senate, would rather recommend that this person goes to clear his name within a period. That's the pulse Nigerians will feel. Because in the face of these letters, here printed and provided for, Nigerians will be denied justice continuously because of the way and manner our justice system operates. And I believe that a lot of us have been denied justice on account of all of these, as though it has become a document to protect the political elitist class against the yearning masses who are demanding change, also in keeping with Mr. President's commitment against corruption and against...
I'm not doing that. I'm going to the Constitution. Page 1. Can you see? Page 1. Open it quickly. Page 1. Can you see?
This Constitution is supreme.
First up, the preamble.
The one that starts with having...
We the people.
Okay, we the people of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I should read them, sir?
Yeah.
Okay. Having firmly and solemnly resolved to live in unity and harmony as one indivisible, indissoluble, sovereign nation under God, dedicated to the promotion of inter-African solidarity, world peace, international cooperation and understanding, and to provide for a constitution for the purpose of promoting the good governance and welfare of all persons in our country on the principles of freedom, equality and justice, and for the purpose of consolidating the unity of our people, do hereby make, enact, and give to ourselves to the following constitution.
So you see, this constitution is what the people of Nigeria decided to give to themselves. They expect us to do something else. After they say we should swear to uphold and protect it, does it make sense to you?
If I may answer to that effect, I would also agree with me that Nigerians have also challenged the contents of this document that does not give them fairness, that denies them justice. Maybe as yearnings, that's why I said I digress. Yes. As part of what you may equally consider because you're lawmakers. Yes. I will not sit here and denigrate this document. I will not.
So what I'm saying is this. You see, I'm a senator today by virtue of this constitution.
Yes.
The president is president by virtue of this constitution. And despite all the misgiving that Nigerians have done, they have not given us an alternative document. And this is the only document we have sworn to uphold, protect, and defend. I don't know whether it makes sense to you.
Mr. Chairman, I want the House to consider that in the face of the Constitution, there is what we call, even in public life, morals, ethics, and codes of conduct. And those ethics and codes of conduct, you know, are not saying to make its own rules and codes of conduct. Even though same may not, you know, always find expression relative in the way the Constitution has provided for it. So in submission, final submission from my own end, on record, and noted before the Nigerian Senate, that as long as we are concerned from River State, and those of us who are involved in all of these, because we've been watchdogs, monitoring the activities of government right from 1990 till date, the much we have done, that we hold everything against Rotimi and Wechie in all of this. And we have doubts, and we will be discouraged, and we will see it as a betrayal of trust by the federal government of Nigeria. Should he be appointed without having left a public office and going out with a stigma and not directed to go clear himself, he's given another opportunity. That is dangerous to the Nigerian economy. It's dangerous.
Yeah.
Livingstone, sir.
In fact, I want to say that this committee has extended a lot of respect to you. Because even though you have a patient, even though you have apologized for coming late, in the practice of the committee, we should have taken you as a petitioner. But we're still here since 12 o'clock. Was it for you? Up to this time.
Sorry about
6 o'clock. And this switch like
Sorry about this.
Now, when we have heard from the also respondents, we have to know that Rotimi had appeared before this committee. And we didn't take it to this committee because we have just understood that the matter is in court. And that having been to this before this committee, we have just given you that favor as a petitioner.
Thank you.
To substantiate your position. And that's what we have just done.
I'm grateful.
I want you to understand that, one, we are aware that a pending suit in the Appeal Court, which we have sent our people to go and verify. We are also aware that a white paper by the River State government, which has been presented, and some regulations taken. Several of that. So we have all this with us, and we have our standing rule, section 41.7, which does not give us power to entertain any matter that is in court, because that will be justice. Having said that, we are putting down our papers. It's left for the committee. We've heard from you, and we appreciate your comment. And I want to encourage you that this committee, and in fact, indeed the Senate, gives room for every Nigerian, every citizen of Nigeria to petition, as long as you have every evidence to substantiate their petition. So we have no intention to discourage you. We are very free, consider you are relaxed. We are allowed to answer questions the way you feel. So I want you to leave here with the impression that we have received a petition and the matter is being looked into, considering also the fact that the matter is also in court. As a matter of fact, we are also supposed to answer questions. What we have done, obviously, was to tell that the matter you brought before us is in court. I want to delve into it, but we just want to give you that sense of belonging. I don't want you to just express yourself. So we want to welcome you and thank you for coming. And if there's any need for us to bring you back again, we'll let you know. You're welcome. Thank you.
I move for the adjournment of this meeting.
I second.
So we have this sitting out there for one my child.